Welcome back to the 2021 Chicago Responsible Jewelry Conference, which we always open with a responsible gem boutique. We're kind of sad to be joining you digitally only again this year. We had big hopes for an in person conference, but hey, we've all been rolling with the punches, right? And we have a great digital environment to do this conference in. So we're just so glad you're here, and we're really excited about today. We've got a lot of great presentations planned for you. So hi, Susan.
Hi, Andrea. I'm so excited for the Gem Boutique this year.
Why? I know why, but tell us why.
Well, I mean, of course, we start with our friends at Moyo. In hearing how they've adapted to buying and purchasing over COVID is something, near and dear. And then Virtue Gem, which, is a project of the Responsible Jewelry Transformative. And we're going to have a huge amount of team members. But our latest addition is Martin DeWitt, who has been working on Mine to Market diamonds. And he's near the end of the day, but this is amazing. I always get texts from people. I mean, it's been how many years? 5, years of messaging. Do you know of any, Mine to Market diamonds for jewelers and designers? No is the answer. No, there's nothing that we can buy that's available. And so here we have it. And this is the first ever that Martin is showing these. And so I'm excited about everyone. I'm a gem fiend being a designer first, and Columbia Gem House, forget about it when they show. I just, stuff the safe with more. So anyways, those are just some of the tidbits, but I'm super excited about everyone. Haywin is joining us, and, she was in Ethiopia and actually landed when the war broke out. She's continuing to support the artisanal small scale miners there with everything going on. So there's always so many interesting things, not only to buy, but also to hear the stories of how this is happening in a unique way to the jewelry industry.
Well, and it's so important because it's not like 2 steps removed. The stories that are going to be told throughout the day today are the stories of people who are working directly with the very beginning of our jewelry supply chains. And I know that Susan and I both completely agree on this. If you're removed from the humans in your supply chain, then it's easy to overlook the problems of a supply chain. But once you know the people, it's impossible to ignore the concerns. And that motivates a change and commitment and investment. And so you're meeting those people today. And that's just profoundly transformative, which is what Susan's organization is all about.
Yes, thank you. And I think so too. And I think that, when you hear the people speaking that are coming on, and the gem professionals, as we would like to say, they all have such a connection with everyone in their supply chain and everyone in source countries. So, we start off with Moyo, and fantastic. Virtue Gem, and I can't go all down the line in order, Andre. Maybe you can.
I'm not sure I can either. I'll try. I'll pull you talk. I'll pull up the schedule.
Okay, fantastic. And really representing so many countries as well. So Ian Bone with Australia, of course, Brian Cook in Brazil, and just deep roots in those mining communities. And Brian's a member of the co-op there and works in agriculture and a whole kind of circular economy, and in forest safe mining. And how do you do that? So there's so many things there beyond just the regular selling gems, which we want to do too, because we always hear that from people, like, show us the gems.
Right. Our work, and as you pointed out at the beginning of this intro, it can be really hard for people to find gems that they feel are a responsible option. Let's see, who else didn't you mention? Stuart Poole. So 1948 is here today, and Stuart gives us a look at a different set of gems and cutting operations that they've set up to support his supply chain. So that's pretty exciting. Jay Moncada is here with Perpetuum Jewels, and Jay brings a recycled approach to gemstones that has been honestly the only way for most people to get their hands on responsible diamonds, and still is the primary way to get your hands on responsible diamonds. So Jay is here with that. I think you mentioned everyone else.
Yep.
Yep. I'm looking at the schedule. You got it.
I can go into a little bit about what Martin has done, but of course he's going to be the expert. This is the diamonds he's working with are out of Sierra Leone, and pre-COVID there were maybe 4 or 5 people that were, I heard about that were starting mine to market diamonds, and of course during COVID things stopped. So this is really exciting that he's able to actually have diamonds. I've seen, the pile of beautiful diamonds that he has, and he's selling both cut, and he's a world-renowned
top cutters in the world,
diamond cutters in the world, and began Hearts on Fire, and so he will be selling cut material, and he does have some smaller pieces as well that are uncut in their natural formation. So
Martin brings an incredible perspective to the diamond conversation. So when you're in his session, ask him questions, because people tend to entrench in their place in the diamond supply chain. Well, Martin knows mined diamonds. Martin knows lab-grown diamonds as well as, or better than anybody. And he knows the responsibilities of trying to get to artisanally mined diamonds. So he actually brings such a balanced perspective. He can compare and contrast these different supply chains without spin. So that was just something I wanted to add to ask him questions about that, because he's knowledgeable. He's my go-to.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's everyone on here is experts, and it's nice to have when we look forward to other content, which we'll discuss tomorrow morning before the opening. We have a lot of content that is showing some sides of the diamonds industry that we don't want.
Right.
So to have somebody good that's doing a good job with diamonds represented is just near and dear to us this year.
Yep. Did we mention Anza Gems? Because Monica Stevenson is here too. So that's another presentation that we have today. And Monica represents a person who actually traveled to the mine sites and was so inspired to be part of the change that she then started her own mine to market gemstone initiative. So I just didn't want to leave anyone out of our agenda for the day.
Yeah, I mean, Anza's, just fantastic, and she does this with Moyo as well, and uses a lot of really innovative American gem cutters in the work, and what she has is really unique. I've bought, as a designer, Anza pieces and put them into custom pieces, and the cutting and the colors and everything are just, and I think you'll find most of the gems that you see here today are untreated. And with Anza, she really has an eye for picking out those perfect kind of colors that are not the, the Ceylon blue or the pigeon's blood, or, which I think we're all moving beyond that. At least I know in the jewelry designer world, we like the unique, we like what, people bring. So that's, I really always find beautiful things to drool over with Anza.
Well, and the design world in the jewelry industry is, the jewelry industry has its verticals, right? So we have this traditional jewelry retail part of the industry, which has traditionally, again, not really invested in a lot of unusual or unique color. They carry the safety colors, the expensive colors, the rubies, the emeralds, and then they would acquire color on an as-needed basis. But if consumers don't see color in the stores, they don't even know what they can ask for. So with projects like our Responsible Gemstones going to high-end designers who make amazing work with it, and then get it to consumers, consumers start thinking, oh, there's something else I can be asking for, both on the responsible front and the beautiful gemstone front. And this is really important, because if more consumers ask for it, more of the jewelry industry will start understanding they need to offer it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think we mentioned Anza's cutting, and just everyone's a little bit in Stewart's, but I think part of all of the people that are on with the Responsible Gem Boutique today is cutting, and often forgotten about in our industry, that this is a big part of responsibility. I mean, Brian Cook cuts his own. Each piece is like artwork. He looks into the rutilated quartz, he sees something in it, and he creates artwork. And in Virtue Gem, we're all source country cutting, so that we're keeping a longer portion of the supply chain within that country. So there's more economic benefit, there's more job creation, there's more value addition in country. And with Stuart Poole has created a cutting facility in Sri Lanka. And of course, Columbia Gem House cuts overseas and went in and really changed the way that the Chinese cutting factories were looking at things, safety standards, employing women, talking about silicosis. So all of these ways that people have tackled cutting in their own initiatives, in their own, what they bring to market in gemstones, is valuable for, any gem professional to learn about in the industry.
Well, and this conference is unique in its continued focus on cutting. People want to focus on what's happening at the mines, but if you clean up a mine and then you send everything to a non-responsible cutting facility, a non-safe cutting facility, and there at that cutting facility also non-responsibly mined gemstones often end up getting in the mix, you still have a broken supply chain. Now, Eric Brownward at Columbia Gems has been pioneering this space for 30 years, but it is hard for one company to get the message out big enough. So we all have to carry that message. It matters where it's mined. It matters where and how it's cut. It matters where and how we bring it to market and who gets the economic benefit. All these pieces matter. If you're not signed up for the rest of the conference, and we have both regularly priced tickets and pay what you can tickets. For on tomorrow and Saturday, we're going to be talking about a lot of these issues. So we really hope you'll join us for the whole conference and not just for the Gem Boutique. The more knowledgeable we all are, the more effectively we can band together and drive change.
Absolutely. And I think that, as I said, the Gem Boutique really is an opener to asking some of the questions and learning some of the firsthand knowledge that is woven throughout the conference content.
Yep, for sure. I'm actually going to paste some of these links into the chat. So if you don't have your ticket to the conference, you can go ahead and get one now. So there's the link to the regular tickets. And I'm trying to remember where the pay what you can ticket is stashed. Because there's a different link. Here it is. We want everyone to be part of this conversation. Yes, we need to raise money for the Responsible Jewelry Transformative, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And all of the funds, plus a bunch of funds from Susan's pocket, go to these initiatives to drive change in the jewelry supply chain. But if you can't afford the full ticket, we still need you here because your effort is also part of the change. So pick the ticket that you can afford and join us for the next 2 days.
Yeah, it really it is 2 days of heavy content and and big panels, and I like that we're not breaking it up as much because people can drop in and listen to we're hoping sit and listen to the whole thing, but there's a lot of panels on there that you might not have thought about. These are not up my alley. We really don't have things broken down this year as far as this is only diamonds or this is only gold. We talk about the bigger subjects, water, trafficking, cutting, just all sorts of these broader subjects, which if we don't do it every year, then we go another year without talking about them. So
absolutely. So here's how today works. Each of our responsible gem dealers will be on this stage in conversation with an interviewer. And during this time, they're telling you their story. They're helping you really understand what it means to be in the business of being a responsible gem supplier. These are fun stories. These are great people, some of my favorite people. These are little sessions that you will think, oh, wow, that went by way too fast. Then when they're not in session, our responsible gem dealers all have booths within this conference environment. And when you leave this stage area, you'll see links to, I think it says exhibitors. Go to their booths. There's a table you can sit down at with them. It's virtual, but it's a table. You turn on your video, their video is on, you talk, you buy gemstones. So we want you to make sure you're visiting the booths when you're not in the sessions learning their stories. So, and that's how today works.
That sounds great.
So do we have anything else for them, Susan?
No, I think we're ready to go. We're at time, aren't we? We're at time, aren't we? I think
15 minutes. We're so good at being on time. But if any of you have any questions for us, just pop them in the question box there, the conversation box next to your screen. We'll just watch for a minute. Let's see. Stuart's wishing he had some sunshine in the UK. I see that. Jay has Stuart's sunshine. So apparently it's sunny in New York. Susan and I have pouring rain and heavy wind. We're about, I don't know, how far apart are we? Driving distance 2 hours apart, but we're in the same farm.
Yeah. So yes, we're virtually able to have so many people on, you know, but we'd still prefer to be together. So next year.
Yep, for sure. All right. Well, Stuart, we're going to send you a sunny day of fun as opposed to a sunny day of sunshine. All right. I think we're going to sign off now and just stay in this conference environment today. It'll ding when it's time to join a session. The chat box is always open. You can network with other people who are here. So please take full advantage of this day to really expand your relationships within the Responsible Gem community and with your peers, because your peers can be also a tremendous source of information and support you. And that's it. We're signing off until later.
Thanks. I'm going to go explore all the booths.
All right. See you guys later. Bye.
Thanks.